Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. I don't know where that came from. Welcome to Althea, it's not a glorious sunny Sunday, but it is a glorious Sunday. And, but we know the sun is shining somewhere, right? So, first off, welcome to everyone. My name is Rick Kitzman. I'll be your host for this morning's service. How many first-timers do we have? Oh my gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh my gosh, welcome. Please see one of the greeters, and if you would like to get your name on the emailing list so that you can get our newsletter, that's the best way to keep informed about what's happening here at Althea, and there's always something new going on. So welcome. Thank you so much for being here. It's really, really remarkable. So we start off with a few announcements. And today, I always try to figure out what national holiday is today. So today is National Mimosa Day, National Piercing Day, and National Sea Monkey Day. And May 16th is also National Honor Our LGBT Elders Day. So wouldn't you know it, of which I am one. You can call me a gay geezer, an okay boomer, I don't care. I feel very fortunate to make it to 67 years old. So wouldn't you know it, we would have a holiday honoring the LGBTQ community that also celebrates alcohol, body holes, and silliness. So I think we're all in very good company. All right, let's see. One of the things that I want to address too is masks. And if you've been keeping up with the news at all, there's this huge contingency that says, meaning the CDC, we don't have to wear masks. However, we're going to at least go here at Althea today in wearing masks. We have a board meeting today following the service, of which I know that that's going to be a major topic. And we're doing that out of care and concern for those who might be immune compromised, old, and just to be on the safe side. And so if you would please just honor that, and then in the newsletter for this next month or this next week, we'll address that very specifically. Believe you me, I know we would all like to take off these masks and not deal with glasses that continually fog up. I'm one of those. So just to let you know that we're on top of it, and that just for today, and then we'll have an announcement coming up. The second important announcement is that we have a survey. And the survey, as we have been talking about for the past, 2 months, or maybe not that long, but we are undergoing this transition because we are looking for a new spiritual director or a new guidance. And we have a wonderful person who is leading our transition. Her name is Alma LaCour, and she is the daughter of Pam Getty, for those of you who might know Pam. And it's a threefold transition process. One was meeting one-on-one with the board members. One was group meetings with members of the community. How many of you here participated in that? Anybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 of you. 6. Okay. 7. So we wanted to get the feedback from those who were able to participate in those Zoom meetings. And then thirdly, for those, in the entire community, a survey. And so it just went out this week. It will be up until Sunday, May 23rd. So you have a week. And hopefully you'll find a week to be able to fill that out. We really want your feedback. We want to know what you're thinking, what you're feeling. It'll take you maybe 5-6 minutes to fill out. It is electronic, and if you don't have access to that and you'd like to fill it out, let me know, let one of the greeters know, and we'll see what kind of accommodation we can make. Okay? So give us your feedback. You wanted to be part of this transition, and here's everyone's opportunity to do that. Classes, we've always, thirdly, most important, we have classes. What's coming up here? Healing Meditation 3. And this is on relationships with Suzanne Hunt. She's been doing some wonderful classes. I've heard great feedback. And this new one begins Saturday, June 12th. So discover yourself in the spiritual nature of your relationships and agreements. And as I said, those begin Saturday the 12th. Another ongoing class is Althea Center's Community Connections each Thursday with Kathy Humphrey, and she's in the back. If you, with her hand raised there, if you have questions about that particular group, it's a way to share and to stay connected with the community. Kathy goes to great lengths to provide a topic, and she, I hear wonderful things about the group, and she manages the group very well. It's a very loving and supporting group. So for reflection, for awareness on the topic that she chooses for that particular day, it meets Thursdays 11 to 12:30. And if you have questions, see Kathy in the back. The Enneagram is a spiritually based system, and that class is going to it's begun May 11th, so the next one is the 18th, and this meets 7 to 9 on Zoom. Check out the newsletter for ways to register for that class. Volunteer with Althea. See Sarma in the back. I'm going to raise your hand, Sarma, if you're interested in volunteering. And we need volunteers because it takes quite a staff to make sure that the lights are on, the boiler is working, that we have our greeters, that the place is clean. We have a great staff, and we're so grateful for that staff. But if you'd like to be a part of that, please see Sarma. Sign up with her. The last announcement is we have Tim Wilson, who is in charge, or who leads, and is in charge, of our wonderful LGBTQ group, Mariposa. And he has a few words to speak about what's coming up.
I'm a gay elder. I didn't know today was my day, but I'm more elder than Rick. This will be the second year in a row where they haven't had a Pride Parade in Denver, and this year we decided to participate in the virtual Pride Parade. We're going to be using our wonderful banner to help promote Althea Center for Engaged Spirituality as a safe place for everyone. And next Saturday would have been Harvey Milk's 91st birthday, so ironically we'll be making our video on Harvey Milk's birthday. I wanted to give a shout out to Matt Mersfelder. He owns a sign company that has made this sign and many others for Althea, some of the signs in the parking lot and other places. Anyway, it's one of the wonderful pro bono gifts that people give to this center in addition to volunteering. Anyway, this banner was created by Matt's company for the 2018 parade. We marched in 2018 and 2019, and we only get a 30-second video, but we don't know exactly what that looks like, but we're meeting here. If you're in the parking lot, you'll be able to see where we're gathering. Depending on the weather, we may be outside or inside, but next Saturday, 11 o'clock, May 22nd, come help us make the video. The parade is for everyone. Denver's Pride Parade is one of the largest events in Denver, and it's always been a wonderful mix of families and not just the LGBTQ community. So we would welcome everyone's participation. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Now is the time for our opening prayer. And for those of you who are new, we'll do an opening prayer, and then we will follow with Althea's statement of being. And I'll say a little bit more about that when we get to it. And then we'll move on to a very special message today from one of our congregants. So if you're comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. And just breathe. And if you are comfortable with your eyes closed, just breathe in and breathe out at your own pace. Because when we breathe, we just release and we let go. And we let go of everything that brought us here this morning. Maybe the rush to get ready, the stresses of that jerk who cut us off, the stresses of the week, of the month, of the year, of life. And we just settle into that quiet and that peace. Because when we just breathe so easily, we are able to focus on the oneness that each of us represents. For each of us is a divine being. And one statement that I try to embrace is everyone wears the face of God. And that means everyone. There are no exceptions. And that can be a challenge. But if we accept that truth, that foundation that there is only one, then we are immediately connected to it and to each other. And that oneness is all-powerful. It is everywhere present. It is all abundance. It is, as one of our founders here at the First Divine Science / Althea Center, omni-life. Life is everywhere. And let us not forget that oneness is also all love and all law. Love and law. And as we recognize this oneness, this connection, life starts to make a little more sense. It's less stressful. It's quieter. And we can move about with a greater sense of purpose and joy and fulfillment. And so I just know that all of us made it here for a reason, for a purpose. To be with each other, to simply bask in the joy of being with like-minded folks. And to know that there is more than what the world represents to us outside these doors. But I know and declare that what everyone hears today and sees today and feels today will take them into the following week with all the light and love and laughter and learning to greet life itself with joy and abundance and creativity, because we are one with life and one with all of the world outside these doors. And it is in this moment that when we realize our oneness, with a heart filled with gratitude and thanksgiving, we can smile and we can know that we are part of this infinite power and love and peace. And that the world can reflect that love and that peace that we, each in our own individualized ways, give off and give back to the world and in essence to each other. For there is no separation. There is no such thing. And we cast it aside and simply unite with our community here and with our community in the world. And so, as we just release these words, as I release these words, I just know that there is divine purpose here today. And there is a flow and an ease and a peace that passeth all understanding. And so, with gratitude, we simply say, and so it is. Amen, amen, amen. All right. And so I mentioned that we would now be going through our Althea statement of being. And for those of you who are new, the founders of this spiritual center were three sisters from Pueblo, and this building will celebrate its 100th anniversary next year. And the sisters founded First Divine Science, which was a New Thought ministry back in the early part of the 20th century, the 1900s, I believe, or 10s. And lo and behold, built this beautiful sanctuary. And this is in honor of our founding divine feminine energy. And so if you know it, just follow along. And if you don't know it, you can just sit back and listen or repeat after me. God is all, both visible and invisible. One presence, one mind, one power is all. This one that is all is perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. We are individualized expressions of God and are ever one with this perfect life, perfect love, and perfect substance. Yes, and so it is. All right, those aren't mine. I don't want to ruin your... Yeah, come on up. All right, it is time for our guest speaker today. Let me just find my notes on the gentleman, Bob Bercaw. And so from Ram Dass to daily meditation to becoming a licensed practitioner of science of mind or religious science, Bob Bercaw has been immersed in the metaphysical for decades. He feels his spiritual teachers saved his life during the AIDS epidemic in San Francisco in the 80s and awakened him to inner golden thread to follow forever. So Bob and his husband Jerry relocated to Denver. So please welcome Bob Bercaw.
I just want to start off and say, it's so nice to take this off. And hopefully soon, when whoever's standing up here looks out at all of you beautiful people and looks at your smiling eyes, we'll also be able to see your smiling face, which to me is even more exciting. So I'm glad to be here today. We're fairly new to Althea, although several years ago on visits to Denver, we did come by here because we heard about it from a friend and really enjoyed Jonathan and the congregation and the incredible Sunday meal after the service. So we knew then, as soon as we got to Denver, that this would be our home, our spiritual home. So I've got my talk all ready. I've got all 30 sheets of my notes here ready to go. And so we should be out of here by, 2 o'clock, Rick? Is that what you said? The words will of God often resonate with people in many different ways. Some with fear because of things that they might have heard in their childhood from their family of origin or from a church that they maybe attended when they were kids. And other people don't even like to use the G word at all. And so I also just want to kind of put out a disclaimer. I will use the God word during my talk today, the G word. But please feel free to change it in your mind to anything that you're comfortable with. If that God word brings up an image of a guy up in the sky with a lightning bolt and a big gray beard that is ready to mete out punishment, and once in a while, by that old man's whim, maybe send down a little bit of what they call the grace of God. So if that's an idea which still pops up in your mind, then just change the word. You can use spirit. You can use the power of love. You can use light. Any of those words that we like to capitalize work really well in place of the word God. But for the talk, I'm just going to use God. So what I plan to do is talk for about 10 minutes, maybe a little longer, and then lead all of us on a guided meditation to get in touch with some of our inner knowing, something that's already inside us. And then we'll have a little time afterwards, if anybody would like to share some thoughts or ideas or inspirations that came up for you during the meditation, or just came up from you during your life. So that's the plan. A few quotes about the will of God. I love this first one, and it's from Proverbs. Begin to weave, and God will give you the threads. I love that especially because I'm a weaver, so I often think about that when I'm setting up the weaving and when I'm doing it, that actually the threads are there from spirit, from life. This is a quote from Marion Zimmer Bradley, who wrote a lot of books back in the 80s. This is from The Mists of Avalon. When I lived in Berkeley, I met her and her husband. We used to play recorder together. Interesting woman. And this is from The Mists of Avalon. If there be any gods at all, of which I'm not even certain, I cannot believe they would stoop to meddle in the affairs of men, nor will I wait upon the gods to do what I see clearly must be done. Who's to say that the goddess cannot work through my hand as well as another? And another quote from Swami Vivekananda. Where can we go to find God if we cannot see him in our own hearts and in every living being? And this next quote is from Kierkegaard. I studied him in college and had no idea what he was talking about. And even now when I read him, I just still get glimpses. But this quote is a good one. The function of prayer is not to influence God, but rather to change the nature of the one who is praying. The function of prayer is not to change God's mind, but to change our mind. And another quote I found on Google has a lot of stuff on it. You can get lost in there. This is from John Stott, who was a British Anglican evangelical. Here's how to determine God's will for your life. Go wherever your gifts will be exploited the most. Go where your gifts will be exploited. That's the will of God. And from that great metaphysical teacher, Dan Brown, God's will is your deepest desire. God's will is your deepest desire. And from one more extremely conservative American evangelical, your abilities are the map to God's will for your life. It points the direction. When you know what you're good at, you can know what God wants you to do with your life. I thought that was very interesting, coming from someone that most of us would not consider to be new thought. So often, I think, and traditionally, when we think of God's will, we think of something that is really outside ourselves. It's kind of out there. It's something that's going to be forced on us. or predetermined. It's something that often feels like it's hidden away in the clouds and we can't see it, we can't find it. It's something that might be or feel to be very mysterious and even possibly impossible for us to access because it's out there. And sometimes we might feel like, oh my God, it's just something that's so huge and powerful. This pathetic little me is at the will of God's mercy. And these are kind of old ways, traditional ways of looking at the will of God. And what I came to understand more clearly through my studies of New Thought and what we call New Thought and Ancient Wisdom is that really it is God or Spirit's nature to reveal itself through us. In fact, if you really think about it, the only way that God can express itself is through our creativity. That's the only way. God expresses through our creativity. We express through our creativity. So God, Spirit, life, has a need of each one of us in order for it to express itself. It's just like if, I think we are all creative. You might not be all artists, but I have come to believe that everyone is creative. And the only way we can express ourselves is through our creativity. It might be through language. It might be through different media of art. It might be through friendship. It might be through love. It might be through our work, our expressions. But that's how we express ourselves, is through our creativity. And just looking out at all of you, and I just wish you would all take your masks down for 5 minutes, but no, not till next week. I'll follow some rules, Rick, some rules. But just looking out and seeing the variety of beings, of expressions of Spirit and God that are in this room. We all have different hair color, different body shapes. We're different ages, different ethnicities, different backgrounds. And it's all part of this incredible creation that we are here. I remember one of my teachers, when one of my co-students in class said something about, oh, well, we're just here. This is a schoolroom. We're here to learn lessons. That's why we're on this planet, to learn our lessons so we can move on. And my teacher, Doris, said, oh, dear one, that's not why we're here. We are here to express our love and our creativity. We're not here to learn lessons. That doesn't mean we don't learn lessons. We do. But that's not the reason we have been placed as a spiritual being having a human experience. We're here to express our creativity and our love and our light, and to share it with each other, and to see that creativity in other people, to watch it come forth, and to play with it and enjoy it and laugh with it, sometimes cry with it. If we look around, we can see God's creativity in action all over the place. I was a little bit, I don't know what the word is, surprised, slightly disappointed in the spring in Denver. I'd never been here in the spring. And I lived most of my life on one of the coasts. I grew up on the east, lived in San Francisco for 25 years, and then lived in the east again. And the springs are just incredible. The forsythia, the tulips, the daffodils, all those other little things that pop up in the spring. And I kept asking Jerry, where are the daffodils? Where are they? What happens? And Jerry said, well, really, Denver has winter and summer, and it has something in between, but it's not quite what spring is on the East Coast and the West Coast. So It's just a different way of expressing itself, different all over. One other example I have of God needing its expressions, its humans, and I just thought of this the other day. Think about the Ten Commandments. You know, God, according to the story, and of course we all believe those stories literally, I'm sure, God created these 10 tablets, or was it 10 tablets or 2? Whatever it was, the 10 Commandments written on these tablets of stone, you know, with lightning he etched out. He didn't have lasers then, so had to use lightning. Etched out these 10 Commandments, and then there they are. Well, if Moses hadn't been there to receive them, they wouldn't exist. It's like, does a tree make noise when it falls down in the forest? We could talk about that for a while, but let's not. But the idea that if Moses, the human, had not been there to receive and to take these tablets back to his community, God's making these tablets would have been worth not much. So, looking at the will of God, I think it's really good if we get some kind of an inkling to just go for it, even if we're not sure what the end is. This is kind of what we call faith. Thomas Troward, one of the great metaphysical teachers, who his father was a judge in India, and he grew up in India and then studied in England and gave lectures all over the place. And he kind of put, if you haven't read Thomas Troward, he's fascinating. He put Hinduism into Western terms without ever using a word of Sanskrit in his teaching. Even though, as Jerry often says about Thomas Troward, he got bored when he was in England and decided to learn Sanskrit, so he did. You know, what else would you do if you got bored? Oh, I think I'll learn Sanskrit. That's what he did. And he has a quote that says, "The end is already secured." The end is already secured. It's already there. So when we have something that feels like the will of God, we can just go for it because the end is already secured for us. The other thing, this is just some kind of random thoughts, bringing up the difference in want versus need. Something we want comes from the heart. It's like a desire. A desire comes from the very center of our being, from the heart. And it's usually there from inspiration. It's usually there as a still small voice we either see or hear or feel or just know. Versus need. And need often comes from fear. And so what we want to do is look at what do we want? What do we desire? Not what do we need? So if you're looking at your life and thinking, okay, is this a desire I have? Is this a want? Or is this a need? And if it's a need, kind of look at it a little more carefully and see what's behind it. Now, obviously, there's the, what's his name's hierarchy of needs. So that goes without, I mean, we all need food, clothing, a safe place to be. But other than that, I need a red convertible. Why? Now, maybe I desire one because it represents freedom to me. It represents joy. But that's different than, oh, I need it, or I'm nothing. I need this thing. Desire, the word itself, might come from an old Latin term, desidere, which means from the stars. From the stars. I like that. But there's also a metaphysical etymology of the word desire, which is absolutely not founded in any etymological dictionary you'll ever see, but it's interesting to think about. Desire, and de means from, and sire can mean Lord. So a desire, something from the Lord, from Spirit. Now again, like I said, don't put that down on an English test if you have one, because this is a metaphysical definition. So what do? We look at our own skills. We look at our own attributes. We look at our own unique gifts to see how we can express what I'm calling the will of God. And we look carefully at our own life and our own circumstances. Where can I expand this? Where can I go next? What is calling me? And so what I'd like to do right now is, if you would like to follow along with this, is do a guided meditation. I have to check my... Oh, good. I did all right. I was waiting for either Jerry or Rick to go like this. Thank you. We're going to do a guided meditation, and we have a little worksheet. If you didn't pick one up, if you'd raise your hand, Jenny will pass one out, just to help you jot down things if you would like to do that. And these will be turned in at the end and graded, so neatness, spelling, all that counts. Jenny is offered to grade them.
Dick.
Everybody got one? If you're not, wave your hand. Okay, right in the middle. 2 in the front row. Are we good? Herding new thoughters is sometimes like herding cats. That's a good thing. One of the quotes that Jerry always sprouts out about people who are in New Thought is, our motto should be anarchists unite. And that makes sense to me. Okay, so I just invite you to take a moment, and if you feel comfortable, to close your eyes. And if you want to jot down things as they come up to you, go right ahead. But some people, I think, like to just stay in the meditation and jot it down afterwards. Do whatever works for you. So just take a moment and be aware of your breath. Just notice it. Don't control it. Is it deep or shallow? Quick or slow? And where do you notice it? You can notice it at your nostrils or your mouth. You can also notice it with the rise and fall of your belly. And remember that it is Spirit that is breathing you. You are not really doing the breathing, but it's the life force that is breathing you, that is beating your heart. So just think about a deep desire that you might have, whether you're aware of it or not. Just allow yourself to let this come forth. It might be a picture you see. It might be something you hear. It might be a feeling that you feel that you can't put words to. It might just be a sense, or it just might be a knowing, an awareness. And as you sit there, feel yourself surrounded by the one power that is love. And know that you are safe. You are held in the arms of love. that Spirit is right here for you, surrounding you, holding you, supporting you. But Spirit is also within you as who you are, a unique expression of the divine, unlike any other. So where does this sense come from you, from inside you? What's at the center of this desire, this yearning? Is it a feeling of love, of peace, of excitement, of wariness, of knowing, of the unknown? What is the deep feeling inside it? It might be relaxation. It might be doubt. It might be ease. It might be fear. It might be joy. What is this feeling that's coming up for you? And how would you feel if you actually attained the accomplishment, if it was actually yours right now, if you already had it? What is your deep feeling? And we might look for these feelings as what we often call the qualities of God. Peace, freedom, joy, love, gentle clarity, abundance. What is this feeling? What's at the center of it? And then, what would be the next step you could actually take? What could you actually do? It might be a huge leap. It might be a teeny little step. Doesn't matter. God knows no size. God does not know big or small. So what is a step that you could take? Do you feel any support for taking this step? Is there someone you can share this with who might support you on it? So just look at your feeling. Allow them to come up. So once you have some idea of what this is, you basically have three choices. You can stop and rest and just let it be. You can barge ahead and jump in head first and just go for it with gusto. Or you can actually turn around and go the other way. These are all appropriate choices. And I know that each of you is guided in making the perfect choice for you at this time. So check out the feelings around all of these choices. And I know that you will know what is the right choice for you. So just take a moment to be present in this room, to feel the air around you, and to sense all the other beautiful beings that are sitting around you in this space today. Maybe wiggle your toes or your hands, your face, and when you feel comfortable, just allow the eyes to slowly open and be present. So, let's just bring the energy up a tad. Take maybe a couple of deep breaths and move around a little bit. If you want to get up and dance, that's fine with me. And if anybody had anything that came up that they would like to let the rest of us hear, because one of the things that I remember about being in class, and I'm sure all of you have been in class, is that an issue comes up and you think, oh, I don't really have any issue with that. I don't have any ideas about it. And somebody else will say something and you think, oh, yes, thank you. Thank you for saying that. That's what I needed to hear. So, do we have a traveling microphone, or are we just going to stand up and blurt it out? Which is the easiest way to do it? We'll just stand up.
Well, and if you want the team to get it, though, you'll need to repeat the question.
Is it easy to get the mic or not? That way, it can be heard in that person's voice. The magic of cordless microphones. Watching an old movie the other day when the political speaker had to use one of those paper megaphone cones. I said, ooh, haven't seen one of those in a few years. So does anyone have something that they would like to let the rest of us hear, to share with us? What came up? Now, should I just call on someone? You in the second row chewing gum.
Oh, yeah. Facebook Live. Sorry, Facebook people. Hi, I'm Alice.
Wait.
Hold the mic. Hold on. He's gonna. Don't lose that thought.
Oh, that's likely. Thoughts don't stay in there that long anymore. I'm Alice. Hi. So I really like this question. What does attaining or accomplishing that desire feel like? So all of a sudden, I was in this beautiful office, and I had the books that I'd written around me, and I was in it. I was writing and speaking and doing the things that I want to do, but it was like, it felt so satisfying, and it was so pretty. It was like a pretty, beautiful, whitewashed, kind of in a beautiful farmhouse. I could go on, but it was beautiful. So thank you for that.
Yeah,
so
thank you.
It was neat. It was neat. Yeah, I was there.
Thank you.
Well, I'll share. I've always wanted to write a novel. And I have the outline and I have notes and everything, but even being retired somehow, I think I'm more busy now than when I worked full-time, because I wonder, how did I get what I got done when I worked full-time? So, the day just expands and stuff gets going, and then all of a sudden a week is gone, and then a month is gone. So I know it's just a matter of decisions and discipline.
Thanks, Rick.
Anybody else?
Inquiring minds want to know.
I want your help.
Good.
I don't understand number 3. So, what is the deep desire I have right now? I said to have deep joy in my life. What does attaining it feel like? Like coming home. What are the qualities of God in this situation? What does that mean? So maybe you can walk me through what that might be.
Well, actually, in that case, the quality of God would be joy, because that is a quality of God. It's a pure part of what God is, joy.
Cool.
So you already got that one.
Well, there you go. The answer was within the question, which was within the answer. I don't know. I'm getting really deep. Okay, who's next? Come on, somebody. Folks hiding out upstairs. No? Come on. Come on.
We can't leave until more people have spoken. We're all locked in this room.
You know me, I will call on you.
There we go.
So I went through the question list here as well. What is a deep desire I have right now? Live life with a clear and quiet mind. What does attaining or accomplishing that desire feel like? Freedom, clarity, and happiness. What are the qualities of God in this situation? Purity, presence, and expression. And what can be my first or next step? Work on mindfulness, reduce distractions, and improve sleep.
Great. Thank you. One thing that came up when he spoke about clarity, and something that was brought home to me many times, whenever we affirm or claim clarity, I think it's a real good idea to put the word gentle in front of it. Because clarity can come with being hit with a 2x4 over the side of the head. So since, we have some choice whenever we seek or look or affirm clarity, I just like to make sure that we say gentle clarity, loving clarity, supportive clarity. So that's just a... What about this side over here?
Richard has.
Nope, this side, Richard.
What's a deep desire I have right now is not to be guided by desire so much as watching what happens to me without desiring it, because it's always better than what I would have desired in the first place. So it's like the intelligence of the universe is superseding mine if I watch it, if I am open to it. And what does it feel like to have, for instance, this community assembling around me without me knowing what I need or desiring it. For instance, I had a desire for people in my friendship circle to think and pray and exist like I do. So I could communicate, so-called. This is a desire I had. Well, what's happening is that instead of reaching out for what I need or desire, things come to me that are excitingly fresh and new and alive more than I can imagine. So I let go of needing to predict or control or know or understand. Because all my academic life, I thought, well, if I just know enough of the right stuff, I'll be happy and successful, and that's where it's at. But about age 40, I got wind that I was going against the grain to be totally mind-centered. And I went through 3 marriages. As I look back, I think I was only half present there because I was always in my head. And it had to take some funny realizations and happenings to break me out of that and start me on a totally different career and it was just unbelievable. What I was getting is what I needed without knowing in advance that that's what I needed. Or I didn't know enough to desire it as it happened, it came to me. And that's happening more and more. Not having to reach, but just be aware and listening and receiving. And not always saying, no, I can do it myself, Mom, sort of thing. So the qualities of God in this situation keeps the qualities of the universe keep expanding in this ecosystem that is paying attention to what I need more than I know what I need. And it's providing it uneffing believable. So the qualities of God are just beyond description or understanding or what have you. Let's see. What can be my next step is to not worry about what my next step is.
Very good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So any last person?
Words of wisdom.
We got Rick over on this side.
Where?
We got somebody. Thank you.
Well, my name is Kirk. First of all, I want to thank my LGBTQ elders on their special day. Thank you for all the work you've done, for making the journey a lot easier for those of us younger. I want to really appreciate that. Nothing really came to mind during the experience. Something came to body, definitely. I didn't write anything down, but as I've heard everybody speaking, what I realized, a deep desire that I've had for quite some time now is a community that understands. And especially spending, more than a year inside my own house. A community is something I've really, really wanted, but much more so than that. Finding a spiritual community that I feel like understands me. I grew up with spirituality in my life, but not the kind of spirituality that I needed. It's been a long time since I've cried during a prayer, but I did today. And the feeling is like coming home. And so I want to thank everybody for being a part of that for me. And I can't tell you how much that means to me, that I have that here. There are many qualities of God that I feel like are represented right now. Compassion, understanding, and love. So, and what can I do? I can just continue to be myself. I can continue to contribute myself to this community and be a part of it. And give thanks and give forward. So thank you all so much for this.
Alrighty, so thank you very much, and make sure to take sometime today to just look around at the people in this incredible community. Thank you.
So now would usually be the time when we would pass around the plates and gather the gifts from our congregation, but since we are touchless, we have different ways of asking you to display your tithes to the community. We do need to pay an electric bill just like you do, and a water bill and staff, etc. And so we have some new technologies. You can be an evergreen partner, which is on our website, where you have a monthly donation. And we also have something called the dip jar, which is really cool. All you do literally is whip out a credit card, you go back to the back wall here, buy the shirts that are for sale, and you simply dip your credit card in and out. It's set to $10 per dip, so you can go dip, 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 dip as many times as you wish. And it's with gratitude that we show our love for this community. And as you can see, people are very heartfelt here about this lovely community. It's very, very welcoming. We strive to make it so. All right, Althea is also about music, and we have some of the best music in all of Denver, certainly, and if not Colorado, if not the nation. And so we have a trio today. We have Daryl Johnson, who's a Denver native, and he spent 15 years in New York. He sang with the New York City Gay Men's Chorus at the Lincoln Center and Carnegie Hall. He is now a proud singer with the Boulder Chorale and Sage Singers, Denver's LGBTQ senior chorus. For the last 25 years, Daryl has been the resident manager of Chesney Klein John Apartments, a 17-unit building in Capitol Hill that was specifically built for people living with HIV/AIDS. We also have Rick Stanton on the piano. Rick works as a case manager with St. Francis. Are you working upstairs? Yes. You are? Okay. So while St. Francis is having their new facility renovated or built, the St. Francis, what is it, the employment service, right, is upstairs for the foreseeable future for a while. And then we have Stephanie Whitehouse. She's been singing in church, school, and local choirs, performing in musicals such as Legally Blonde, Annie, Seussical, Little Shop of Horrors, and she's currently a program assistant with St. Francis. So please welcome our trio of entertainment.
Thank you. Thanks. I'll just talk for a minute so we can get the level set. How about if you talk, Steph?
Yeah, I will also.
Some people were using your microphone. I think it might be a little loud now, so go ahead and try.
Right, yep, that's good. I think there we go.
Okay, I think we're ready. I close my eyes and I can see a world that's waiting up for me that I call my own. Through the dark, through the door, through where no one's been before, but it feels like home. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say I've lost my mind. I don't care, so call me crazy. We can live in a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make. There's a house we can build. Every room inside is filled with things from far away. Special things I compile, each one there to make you smile on a rainy day. They can say it all sounds crazy. They can say we've lost our minds. I don't care if they call us crazy. Run away to a world that we design. 'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head. A million dreams are keeping me awake. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. Oh, a million dreams for the world we're gonna make.
However big, however small, let me be part of it all. Share your dreams with me. You may be right, you may be wrong, just say that you'll bring me along to the world you see, to the world I close my eyes to see, I close my eyes to see.
'Cause every night I lie in bed, the brightest colors fill my head.
A million dreams are keeping me going.
A million dreams. I think of what the world could be, a vision of the one I see. A million dreams is all it's gonna take. A million dreams for the world we're gonna make. For the world we're gonna make. Thank you. Thank you. I'm trying to hold my breath and let it stay this way. Can't let this moment end. You set off a dream in me, and getting louder now. Can you hear it echoing? Take my hand, will you share this with me? 'Cause darling, without you, all the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars they steal from the night sky will never be enough. Never be enough. Towers of gold are still too little. These hands could hold the world, but it'll never be enough. Never be enough for me. Never, 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 never. Never for me, never enough, never enough, never enough for me, for me, for me. All the shine of 1,000 spotlights, all the stars they steal from the night sky will never be enough, never be enough. towers of gold are still too little. These hands could hold the world, but it'll never be enough. Never be enough for me. Never, 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 never for me, for me. Never enough, never, never, never enough, never, never, never enough for me, for me, for me. For me. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, thanks. Thank you.
So, thank you, Daryl. Marvelous, wonderful. We're going to have our daily reading by long-time member Barbara Vale. We'll do a closing prayer, and then we'll have some more music.
This reading is from Rhythms and Hues, Poems of the Beloved by David Spangler. He was the co-director of, in the early 70s, of Findhorn, which is a spiritual community in Scotland. And he also is the co-founder of Lorien, which is a spiritual education community. I reach into my being and feel there the presence of God. I am the center, the Logos, the Christ of a universe, a community of life within myself. Billions of lives enter me and abide with me for a time, and then depart. As I learn the secrets of oneness and community with all that lives beyond me, may I not forget the community of my own being, the microcosm of which I am the light and the source. Towards it, may I be limitless love, limitless light, limitless understanding. May the rhythm, inspiration and rhythms of my being uplift these countless lives that lend their strength and being to make me what I am. For as it is above, so is it below. As it is within, so shall it manifest without.
Dick, are you going to come up? Dick Peterson, longtime member, is going to do our closing prayer, and while we wait for Dick to come up here, just a few last-minute notes. Don't forget our dip jar. We've got coffee, tea in our break room if you'd like to socialize a little bit. Thank you so much to everyone here who has made today happen. Susan and Daryl and Bob and Barbara and Sarma and who am I missing? Aaron and everyone and all of you for being here. Thank you so much. Here's Dick. Oh, prayer partners. Oh, yes. And we also have, we have prayer partners back here if you're in need of an affirmative prayer, and Ginny's going to tell us about what's coming up.
Hi, good morning everyone. And I'm glad we have so many new people because you're starting to see that we're waking up. right? And more things are coming back. We do have coffee afterwards because normally we do have a big, beautiful meal that Bob alluded to. And those days will come again where the dining room is full of us having a wonderful brunch together. But do please join us for coffee and tea afterwards. We are curating amazing Sundays. Every Sunday is going to be very different. It's always going to have music. It's always going to have ceremony. And it's always going to have an amazing message. A week from today, how many of you have ever done a gong bath? Gong bath, all right. Well, for those of you who haven't, the Sunday message next week is going to be a study of what is a gong bath. How does vibration heal us? So we're going to have Greg Wilkins, who's going to talk about and bring his beautiful gongs. He's going to have a friend who's going to do percussion. You're going to learn all about the science behind it and what's happening. And then, if you want to stay around, we're going to have another gong bath. So sign up for that. You do have to register. It's a separate event. So folks are going to come from the community as well. So we're going to have music and gongs and all of that. Then we're going to be into Memorial Day weekend. And we're going to have in memoriam the light of loss. And this is going to be an opportunity for our prayer partners to lead us through what we've lost over the last year. The people we've lost, parts of our lives that have lost, but also to try to rejoice in coming into the light. So please come ready to bring some sacred objects and some folks that you want to honor. Then we're in June. Then we have the Soul of Music on one of our Sundays. We have Father's Day. We have Black Lives Matter and Juneteenth. Trying to get a gospel group that's going to knock your socks off. So more to come there. But just know that every Sunday is going to be amazing and different and varied. So keep coming and bring your friends and neighbors. Thanks. Dick, it's all yours. Woo.
You may close your eyes. And as we think about what has gone on this morning and the possibilities that all of us have in the future meaning yet today, tomorrow, we give great thanks for the people who have participated in this service. We give great thanks for the board of directors and all it's doing. And we turn this all over to the Lord and all over to the powers that be. And so it is, and so we are. Amen.